Right, there we go guys. Running. It's in matte at present minute. I'll put the panels back on. I'm going to spray these gloss black to make it look nicer. All running now, 40 miles an hour down the road. Let's just turn that off. That was fine, to be honest with you. It just seemed to be the carburettor. The shock I thought would fit won't. So that is going to be an eBay jobby. And it just turned out to be this little carburettor here. But there you go. It's a Gilera Stalker. Not what I'm about to call it, a runner, or any other bloody things I call it. It is a Stalker Gilera. It is exactly the same as a Typhoon. Front headlight looks like it. The basic shape is the same as well. But Gilera made this one. This is different. I mean, it's not on the Typhoon runners either. Different. So yeah, Gilera Stalker. I think being in such a small frame, I think this might actually go quite rapid. But all that's done in there. That's all good as gold. Just got to play a few electrics, I think bulbs messing around, and obviously get these panels sorted, sprayed up, and that'll be job done. So watch the rest of the video guys, and you take care of yourselves. Subscribe and like. Always got something messing around I suppose with my shed, although I keep saying I'm not gonna. But yeah, I just enjoy it, bringing something back to life. Anyway guys, Gilera Stalker for the last bloody time. Well, hi guys, today Gilera Runner. It's not a speed fighter, is it? Okay, Gilera Runner. These are 50cc's. Look like a Typhoon, if I'm honest with you. Piaggio. They're all sort of the same sort of engines and stuff like that. This has got the big chunky tyres on it, and obviously the big chunky back tyres as well. Quite nice and chunky, to be honest with you. Dash is pretty well. Honestly, it's basic. Probably a bit more than some of them. Yeah, it's got the basics there, hasn't it? So, what's wrong with this one? Well, quite common when people think that a bike starts to go wrong, it stalls. The first thing they do is they go out and buy a battery. Well, that's all great, it isn't a problem. With this one, he said it started bogging down a little bit, slowing down. For me, I would have straight away gone for a belt. He thinks it might be in the clutch, but generally the teeth on the belt start to go. And when you open them up, it takes a bit more to go and starts, you know, not doing it right. So I'm going to go for, to be honest with you, I reckon this has got to come off. And in there, we'll pretty much find the belt's knackered, or the rollers maybe have gone square. Showing you videos on rollers, but I'm going to take it off anyway in a minute and show you. We'll check the clutch, that's easy to check. They're just like brake pads, 3 of them in a round circle. I'm pretty sure somewhere I have one. But maybe I'll find it later for you. Well, I'll show you this one, and the plate over the top, and it spins, they grip hold of it. But this one, he decided to buy a second-hand carburettor, which is all great. He fitted it, it didn't do nothing, which I didn't think it would. But funny enough, on this carburettor here, I don't know if you can see this when I pop it out. Can you see that? That's called a restrictor, okay? And this, do that too. You do not need it in there. It's to restrict the airflow into your bike, make it go slower. He said it did 50 miles an hour. With that in, and if it's out now and go even faster, who knows? Anyway, I will turn upside down. I'll spray the jets with my good old cleaners. Good one for the inside, crap one for the outside to clean it all up. He said he did it already, but I'll do that again. The air filter is just a simple box on here. I'll take that out, all washable, so I'll wash that, and I shall put it all back on again. Check compression. I think he said he got a new sparky plug for it. Thank you very much. But did the things that, you know, didn't need doing. What happened once you changed the carburetor, it wouldn't start, and then we put the old carburetor back on. I had noticed, bless him, that this is your needle. I've shown this before, but this side here and the other side, it's very different. This side is where the adjustment goes. This side is where the lever goes. So if you've got the carburetor, just use this one. Can you see the adjustment here? When you put it in through here, the little bit that's got the tiny little chunk goes this side. What people do is turn it round. And what happens then, it sits on there, and if you can get it started, it revs really badly, really high. So only one way it goes. So remember, that little bit there goes on the adjustment side I showed you. So it goes that way in, not that way. Okay, so remember that little adjustment there goes in on that side. Okay, and it's not hard, you just push it down and it will slot down nicely. If it pushes in and it doesn't feel like it's gone down, it hasn't, and you need to get that sorted. Right, anyway, let's start taking it. I'm going to clean that all, get all the engine back together how I think it should be, do a compression test, make sure it's all right, and then I will start it and see if it runs, and I'll do that on the next video a bit. So give me a few minutes. Now remember what I said about the carburetor and the needle, okay? There's the bit there, and that's that side of the adjustment, and it goes in and it just wiggles around and you'll see it slip down. If you put it in the other way, it won't go down, it sticks up and you can feel the pressure. Carburetor, just remember 1.5 turns out on the air petrol mix, which in this one is there, okay? That's wound right out, which is a bit odd, but there it is there, okay, on this one. 1.5 turns is probably the right place to be. You might have to adjust the idle. This was about half a turn out, so that's not right. So I had a restrictor in it. The carburetor's only half a turn out, which is not getting enough air, and you've got a restrictor, so you really are suffocating it and putting too much petrol through. So I reckon that's what the problem was on this one. Make sure that you do up these bits. They're sometimes just clip-ons. Make sure you do up the bit that actually connects to it for the inlet manifold. You connect this oil one, remember to connect that, and then this screws down nicely. And then we'll wash the air filter, and yeah, let's see what it does then. Well, a bit smoky in here, but that's not right, so I'm going to come out of here. Had it running for about 10 minutes or so, put some fresh petrol in her. You can see the smokiness of her. Now, I think it's carburetor. It starts immediately, but just doesn't rev up, so that normally means carburetor. I put some fresh fuel in her, easy to say. I don't reckon he's put the wrong oil in it because he was running it for a while. He's had the bike for a little while. So I'm going to go for carburetor again. So I'm going to clean the other carburetor up that he gave me, give that a good old look at the jets and what's in that one, and put that on and see what it runs like. If it's the same thing, tube carburetors, possibility. And then I've got in here this shock, and there's another engine there. That's another Gilera engine. I will have a look at the piston. It's air cooled, so it's so much easier to mess around with air cooled. Pop back in here, it's a bit smelly. But yes, so yes it runs, but no, it doesn't run properly. So if I'm not mistaken, it will so that means that the auto choke's working, that means that the idler jet's working, but not necessarily the carburetor running right itself. Does rev up a little better. So yeah, so far investigation, isn't it? And I'll keep playing. I'll think I'll have a look at the clutch. Won't bother no more of this today, but I might have a look at the clutch and the belt and the rollers and see what they're doing. That's not stopping it running, but obviously it's not helping, which may have been the right problem, or the problem in the first place. Carburetor. Changed over the carburetor. Looked at the jet, standard 53. Now, it runs, it stays running. That's good. Up the revs a little bit. She ain't run a long time properly. So there you go. Just carburetor as I thought. But I'm going to take the side off now, have a little nose in there, see what it's going about. I've got belts up there, so job done. Well, it's worth checking. Here it is here, and belt's really good. Put a Polini belt in there, but worth checking though. An awful lot of bolts to get this off, but it's most certainly worth doing. And there's the clutch test, which is really good clutch in there. It's got 3 little like friction belts on here that spin this, and they're brilliant as well. Rollers are good in there. I've just literally put it all back together again because I forgot actually. But this is the little dog that kicks out and makes it start. The Bendix, as they call it. But anyway, I'll put that back in a second. That just spins out and connects into there. And away you go. So there's actually nothing wrong with here. Seems like it's all carburetor. So I will do a bit of tuning. I've put it at 1.5 turns. I've took the restrictor out of this one as well. It's got a standard air filter in, so I may have to put a performance air filter in there, without the restriction in it, or adjust the air petrol mix rather than 1.5 down to 1, a bit more air. Just have to play with it now. But anyway, well done. Job done here. It's a part of now getting all the panels over there, rub them down, spray them up. Rear shock on this is gone, but as I said, I've got one already. It wasn't the head. I mean, I've got to give it a good ride yet, but at present minute she's revving up, she's running, and that's all we need to know. Yeah, carburetor. A lot of them are carburetors anyway. Right, subscribe, check out my videos. Lots on speed fights, typhoons, NRGs, and then some big old bikes as well. So this is a Gilera Skippy, same as the Runner, and a lot of my bikes' engines. To be honest with you, it's 2T. Right, take care, guys.